Okay, so I had a spirit realm experience that led me to study this, and then I got some confirmation that I'm supposed to talk about it, and I'm talking about wormwood. It's important to understand that when it comes to symbolism and visions and things like that, as someone who's had them and tried to interpret them, he will show us things in a manner that we can explain it. As we're given the prophecy, it will give us symbols and things like that. But John the Revelator, he saw, he said, and in the name, there was a star. A third angel blew his trumpet, and a huge star fell from heaven, burning like a torch. And it dropped on a third of the rivers and on the springs of the water. And the name of the star is Wormwood. So it's saying here it's a star, and we know in symbolism it will be interpreted as being an entity, a deity, a fallen angel. So we have a fallen angel named Wormwood, and this entity, this fallen angel, its job is to poison. It's to poison the people by poisoning the water and the air. And so, as I was listening to a podcast, and I can't think of the lady's name, I'll have to come back and add her name on here. But she was talking about all of her research and her team's research for years and years, and interviewing people and going through documents, trying to find out who is really in control of the world. She said her conclusion, and other people's conclusions that are high up, is that we have multi-generational pools of money and wealth of humans that are working with demonic entities. And we know that that's happened before. We know that they trade technology. If you read the Book of Enoch, they teach us about things. They teach us about alchemy and all this stuff, right? So this seems important to me right now because of what's being done to us. We're being sprayed. We have poison coming from the air, from the water, everywhere. And it says a third of mankind will be killed under the rule of Wormwood. So this answers a lot of questions. We know how they do it. We know that the military-industrial complex, we actually think we know who funds it and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it is a demonic entity, a fallen star, a demon, a Nephilim, something that is pulling all the strings and controlling this. We cannot rule that out. And I know it says that it's the third trumpet that blows when this happens. I know for me, in 2020, everything seemed to reset. And I know a lot of people said, did we switch timelines? It's like everything is different. Well, what happened in 2020 is when we were locked up inside our houses, we were being wrapped with 5G towers. Do you remember that? And people would take pictures and say, what are all these trucks out installing all these towers? This is supposed to be COVID lockdown. What's going on? We also know that the end-time Babylonian kingdom needs a lot of power, a lot of electricity. Need to be able to use them signals, right? They interface with the demonic realm using it. And we know that the COVID vaccine now has been proven to be a part of that poisoning of people. Operation Warp Speed, remember that? Well, there's a new thing now, Warp Speed, and it's about, I think, the AI. And while we're arguing about the same old stuff, abortions, everything that they rehash every election cycle, they're building these huge AI coliseums to run things. And these things need a lot of energy, a lot of electricity, right? But that's what's happening here in America. So I suspect there's going to be a lot more people get sick. A lot more people are going to die. People are being poisoned. But I want to remind you, there's a scripture, I think it's in Peter, where he says we can trample on the serpents, we can drink any deadly thing, and it will not harm us. So stay in the truth. Stay in your truth and your authority. Don't get in fear, doubt, unbelief, and all that. In fact, you should be applauding, if you belong to God, that these things are moving on forward, because it's very close to what I'm going to call the God reset. That's what we're close to. But what do you guys think about Wormwood? Do you think it's a principality, an evil entity? And do you think it's what's behind the poisoning of human beings? Let me know.